Right everyone, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my match review slash recap of Chelsea's 4-0 win at home to Morecambe in the FA Cup, progressing through to the next round. We will actually be finding out our next round opponents later tonight, but I will be going over the game, giving you guys a general overview, as well as giving you my player ratings and my player of the season point scoring system as well. If we do give any points out for that, we will see, as obviously it was against opposition that we were very much expected to put away handedly, but we'll see if that's what happens in the game. But if you guys do enjoy these reviews, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts and your player ratings, as well as subscribing to my channel for more Chelsea FC content. But if we get into the gist of how the match went, it was a 4-3-3 that we did see. I got some of my predictions right, some of them wrong. We did see Kepa between the sticks. We did see Emerson, Rudiger and Azpilicueta all start. No, Livramento wasn't even on the bench. A bit surprised just because of all of the reporting that's been going on about some of our youth players training with the first team. We actually saw Kurt Zouma as well, so no Fikayo Tomori starting. Kind of makes sense in a way if he is definitely going on loan, but if he's not, that is a bit of a shame. Obviously Christensen is injured, so hopefully we're still going to offload Tomori on loan, so I don't think he should still be here if he's not going to be used. I think it's a bit of a shame, really. He did feature later on, but I'll get onto that in a sec. Billy Gilmore did start in that deeper line role. I thought Jorginho would get some minutes for rotation, but he did not. Mason Mount, the birthday boy, getting a start. Same with Kai Havertz. So definitely was more of a number 6 with 2 attacking 8s ahead of him. And in the front three, we saw Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech, as I predicted. And we actually saw Timo Werner up front. Now, I did say in my preview that we could be trying to play him centrally to try and give him a bit of chemistry there, get a bit more used to it. And he did score a goal, which I'll get into in a sec. We saw some bench appearances from Pulisic, Giroud, Abraham, Tino Andrew, and he was the only real youth player that featured on the bench, and Fikayo Tomori came on late as well. But as the game did start, we were clearly quite in control, at least possession-wise. I wouldn't say that we were giving away loads of, or I should say getting loads of clear-cut chances. Morecambe were very defensive. They were actually set up quite well, to be fair, by their manager. It was sort of just a case of there was a lot of space maybe around the area, but when it came to in the box, they'd have about like 6, 7 or 8 players in the box, trying to just block shots and trying to break. There was one good move they had where they tried to make the break on the counter, and they actually delivered a cross that went into the box and kind of caught Kepa unaware, and he had to actually dive backwards and save it, and it almost went over the line, so that would have been a scary moment. You can sort of commend Kepa on his reaction there, as no one really expected the ball to be crossed there, but also you might say that his positioning maybe wasn't great in that situation. But either way, we didn't concede, so that is all that matters. And our first goal did come when Callum Hudson-Odoi gives the ball to Mason Mount. He takes a touch, he shoots from quite far out, and it goes in the bottom left corner. A very good shot, very precise, some good power on it from Mason Mount, the birthday boy. But I do have to say, maybe the keeper could have done a bit better. I mean, he did go through a few bodies, so maybe you could say that, but he wasn't too far away, so credit to Mason Mount for the shot, but maybe you could argue that a better keeper maybe would have saved that, but wasn't going to complain with 1-0 up. And to be honest, most of the first half and a lot of the second half as well was some just sloppy play. This performance, guys, didn't fill me with loads of confidence. However, obviously the players might not be super on it because you're going to beat Morecambe, but you still shouldn't really think that way. Players were getting used to playing with each other. Maybe Ziyech obviously just come back from injury, so there's maybe a few excuses as to why players are sloppy. Rudiger as well with some poor passes, but he doesn't necessarily play loads for us, so you can sort of understand, I guess, some of the sloppiness in the game, but I wouldn't say it filled me with loads of hope. But we did actually go 2-0 up before half-time when the ball was whipped in by Hakim Ziyech on his left foot, hit the head of Kai Havertz, who headed it downwards, and Timo Werner was there to poach it into the back of the net. So very nice for Werner to get a goal, his first in, I believe, 13 games or something like that. Obviously, it was against Morecambe. I wouldn't say he had the best game, to be honest, as Morecambe did sit very, very deep, and we know that he's struggling with that at the moment. I'm still not 100% sure if I'd start him versus Fulham, to be honest. I do think he probably will. Obviously, we'll get onto that in my preview for the Fulham game, which will be out later this week. But I don't know, I wasn't fully convinced. I would have liked to have seen maybe 1 or 2 more goals from him, especially when it's against a team like Morecambe. Although I wouldn't say that the whole team, performed amazing, so I guess you could maybe say that. He did have 1 or 2 other shots that he sort of skied or missed. So I don't know. It's a bit of a umming and ahhing performance from Werner. Hopefully, this can just give him a bit of form, getting the ball in the back of the net, and hopefully we can see him score a bit more regularly. But when we came to the second half, we did actually see another goal, this time from Callum Hudson-Odoi, as Ziyech pinged it over the defence. Hudson-Odoi made a great run. He's definitely improving his runs into the box, and he does hit it past the goalkeeper. He definitely deserved a goal. He was very lively, had the ball a lot, was trying to make things happen. A bit of an interesting relationship when he was on the left with him and Emerson. Emerson would come centrally sometimes when there was space, which I'm not necessarily saying is a bad thing, but maybe he preferred Callum there. It's kind of it was an interesting relationship from those two. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much we'll see Hudson-Odoi start on the left. I think he probably should start versus Fulham, but obviously Pulisic is a great player, so who knows what we will see. The fourth goal came in about the 85th minute, and it was a goal from Kai Havertz. It was a header from an Azpilicueta cross, I believe, which was actually set up very nicely by the substitute Abraham. Abraham did definitely have a bit of a presence when he came on, so that was nice to see. He hasn't played in a while, which is a bit surprising, seeing as his last 2 games he scored 3 goals, so I don't really know why I'm not seeing him as much. We saw him and Giroud both play. He actually went to a bit of a 4-4-2, obviously, when we had the game under control. And I believe it was Gilmour and Havertz, I believe it was, who were the 2 centre mids there. So they're probably not something we're going to see very often. But yeah, that did make it 4-0. We had a few other decent chances where the goalie made some very good saves. I think there was a shot by Pulisic, there was another shot by Havertz, which the goalie made some quick reaction saves from. Overall, a 4-0 win is not something to, be sad about by any means. It's a good result. It's a result that you'd expect against the Morecambe side, especially when you see that someone like Crawley beat Leeds 3-0, which is pretty crazy, in another game that happened at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. The performance wasn't amazing. However, it was obviously against lower league opposition. Some players were rusty, so it's kind of hard to sort of know what to think. It hasn't filled me with loads of confidence, essentially. But hopefully this is the sort of game you need where you're not performing that well, but you're actually getting a win, and maybe this will sort of spark, hopefully, a bit of form from the team. Obviously, time will tell on that one, but that was my thoughts on the game, guys. There was also another moment where Fikayo Tomori came on and got a yellow card, even though he made a really clean tackle, so that was something that was interesting. But other than that, nothing really much else to talk about. Yes, that was it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the game. If I do get onto my player ratings, now obviously for a clean sheet I usually give players a 7 out of 10. However, with all of these ratings, I'm going to take into account it was against a Morecambe team, a League 2 side, so you can't necessarily be giving people 9s or 10s or stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it's just not against opposition that were even expected to challenge you. Really, it was expected to be a clean sweep. I'm sure some people even probably predicted us to score more. So I'm going to give Kepa, Emerson, Rudiger, and Zuma all the 6.5 out of 10. Got the clean sheet. Nothing more to say. Rudiger gave away maybe a few fouls. I wouldn't say him and Emerson were anything special, and they're probably quite rusty. They don't play that often. Emerson maybe got in some maybe good positions attacking wise, but also I think maybe hindered Callum a little bit, the way he was playing at left back. So yeah, I'm still going to give them a 6.5 because at the end of the day they got the clean sheet. They didn't really do much wrong, but I wouldn't say it was great, and performance was smooth for them. I don't think it's going to get them anywhere near the first team. I guess I'll put it like that. Zuma with a standard performance as well, but he went a bit unnoticed, to be honest, as the battle was mainly between Rudiger and the other centre back, other striker from Morecambe. But yeah, kept the clean sheet, so what more do you expect? Zuma actually came off a bit later for Tomori, obviously. Azpilicueta would have got the same, but he did get an assist, so I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Maybe Reece James will be fine for the Fulham game. I know that game has actually been pushed back a day. It wasn't meant to happen on Friday, but it's now happening on Saturday because the Aston Villa game Aston Villa have basically had their game of City postponed, so Fulham sort of filled their place. So they're going to play a bit later on the Saturday versus us, so that's maybe good. Maybe that means that James has an extra day to maybe get back to fitness, so that could be good. Yeah, the defence for me, it wasn't really challenged. It was challenged maybe once or twice, maybe 1 or 2 shaky-ish moments. Obviously it's a defence that doesn't really play together that often, you can't really judge too much, so nothing amazing, nothing special, but they got the clean sheet, they did the job. Going into midfield, I'm going to give Gilmour a 7 out of 10. Maybe some people would have given him a bit more. I know he was sort of up for man of the match for some people. To me, he was just a bit unnoticed. I think he strung some stuff together very well, made some good passes, was mobile. but I think he got dribbled past once or twice. It's just a game where he hasn't played much, so he's just getting used to getting some minutes. I think it was a good performance, but I just don't think it stuck out to me personally. But I still think he should definitely start against Fulham. I'd much rather someone a bit more active with him starting rather than someone like Jorginho. Although it does maybe beg the question, is Jorginho's leadership needed? This is going to be something that Lampard's going to have to decide. Is he going to play safe and go with someone like Jorginho, maybe some more experienced players, or is he going to take the risk, go with some youngsters who we know will want to perform and want to play very well to get into the team? So it's going to be really interesting what he does. I think it was a decent performance from Gilmour. With Kai Havertz, going to go with a 7.5 out of 10. Again, maybe some people would have given him higher. He did get a goal and an assist. Just maybe one or two times I saw him get caught out again, where maybe he was spent a bit too long on the ball, gave it away. You will expect someone like him to give the ball away every now and again, just with his attacking mindset. Those players are going to get dispossessed every now and again. But maybe just a couple moments he was a bit slow. I think he looked a lot better when Hudson-Odoi came on the right-hand side, which was interesting. Obviously, there's a bit of a contrast there with a right foot and a left foot, I suppose. So maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, I think he looked a bit better there. I still think he was good. Did some decent defensive work getting back. So I think that it was definitely a much improved performance from him. Got to bear in mind it was obviously against Morecambe. He did really well against Barnsley and obviously didn't have a poor run of form. So 7.5 from him. It was decent and definitely on the right track for him to get his goal. Mason Mount, maybe I saw on some polls maybe some people rate Havertz's performance higher. I do disagree. Mason Mount obviously got the first goal. I think he was very mobile. He was making tackles, making some good runs, finding space on his birthday as well. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Just again, number 8 role for him. I guess 8 suits the number 8 that he's playing, and I thought it was a pretty much complete performance from him, obviously against low opposition still. Not sure if he should have played necessarily. You might want to rest someone like him for the Fulham game, as he is someone that plays a lot. I will say the energy of our team did look decent. However, obviously Morecambe weren't attacking that much. Hopefully Lampard is managing the players' fitness a bit better, if it was to believe that he's maybe overtraining them a bit. But a Mount did come off, which is obviously nice to see. Good lad that he didn't play all 90 minutes. And it was a good performance, so an 8 out of 10 I would give him. I would have given Havertz the same, but he just lost the ball maybe one or two more times. Going to the front three, I'm going to give Hakim Ziyech a 7.5 out of 10. Got the assist, got a key pass as well for the Werner goal. Just very fun to watch, doing some dribbling past players. I think he might have had the most dribbles in the game. Crossing him some dangerous balls on his left foot. Obviously that one to Callum, which did pay off in the goal. It's all about getting him back to match sharpness and fitness, and I think this game was a good way to do that, as he did at the start have some sloppy passes, did give away the ball, maybe didn't make the right run, which you've got to expect him getting back used to playing. So yeah, I think this was a good maybe sort of training session. Don't mean to be disrespectful to Morecambe, but you know what I mean for him, as he probably will play against Fulham. So yeah, hopefully we can see him like he was for the first few games. He was probably starting for us, and hopefully he can be a big player for us going into these very important games. I don't think he was fit enough to play against Man City. That probably should not have happened, and hopefully it hasn't hindered him too much. Onto the left wing, Callum Hudson-Odoi. We're going to get the same rating as Mason Mount. That's an 8 out of 10. Very active. I've loved seeing him getting the chances at the moment. Obviously it was against Morecambe. He got a goal. He got an assist. Not much more that you can ask. He's probably one of our most informed attackers so far. I think he has to start versus Fulham, to be honest. I think that his performances against City, against Arsenal, against Aston Villa, he has to play, and that might mean that Pulisic misses out for a few games, which is really crazy to say. Someone that I think he's playing well, Pulisic, don't get me wrong. He's making a lot of great dribbles and runs. It's just his end product at the moment is just lacking a bit, and that could be from sharpness, that could be from just lack of confidence, because he hasn't scored a lot of goals. So maybe we're just waiting for him to do that. But I think at the moment Hudson-Odoi is going to be someone that does have to play, I think, because he's just been performing great. If Lampard's not playing him, that just kind of shows that the whole playing players on merit thing isn't really true. So I think he's definitely going to have to start versus Fulham. Getting on to the last player, obviously Hudson-Odoi got an 8. Werner is going to get a 7 out of 10. Got his goal finally, and hopefully that means some good things for him. Hopefully we can find some form. Still a bit worried though, because Morecambe sat deep, and that still meant that he didn't have the best of opportunities. He maybe had a few more than he would have in other games, But I don't know, I'm still worried if we come against other teams that are going to sit back against us. Is he going to be the right man for the job? You know, we have Leicester in a week, or not in a week, in about a week and a half, and they're going to have Soyuncu and Evans. You know, how will Werner do against them? I don't know. Obviously, against Fulham, you know, if they sit back, it might be difficult. So I'm still not 100% convinced, to be honest. However, he's going to get 7 for his goal. Didn't really see much other than that. Missed 1 or 2 other opportunities. Like I said, though, it was hard. Morecambe had like 7 or 8 players in the box at points. So yeah, it's kind of hard to judge, but 7 I think is fair for the goal, and not necessarily an outstanding performance. Besides that, I'm not sure if him as a lone striker is the way to go, but I guess we'll see. He hasn't played their loads this season, so maybe it is just a case of getting some more games out of him. Lastly, going on to the bench, I'm going to give them all a 6 out of 10 bar Tammy Abraham. Abraham, I think, really showed some great energy and presence when he came on, and he did set up the Azpilicueta assist to the Havertz goal. I don't know why Abraham's not playing more, because him and Giroud are the 2 guys that are scoring, and also he's playing a lot better, I think. I think the team looks better when Abraham's in it, and I think against these deep-sitting teams we need someone who has a bit of a physical presence, can link up play, which he's improved at. Yeah, maybe should have got a goal, could have got an assist as well, and he actually did get the key pass for Azpilicueta's assist. Personally, if I'm making a team versus Fulham, I am actually still starting Abraham. Obviously, Werner's owes the money signing. We don't know what his contract's like or what it is. You know, maybe the board are pushing Lampard to play Werner, and maybe that's why he's starting so often. That could definitely be the case. So I don't want to cram it too much on Lampard for his selection there, because who knows what is being said to him. Although he is dropping Havertz, so I'm not too sure. You know, what is the balance there? I guess none of us will really ever know until maybe years down the line, to be honest. But yeah, those are going to be my initial player ratings. Player of the season point scoring system, guys. Not going to give anyone 2 or 3 points because it was against Morecambe, a game we expected to win. You could argue that maybe if someone had got a hat-trick or something, they would have got 2 points, maybe like Havertz did against Barnsley. But I'm just going to give it to the 2 best performers on the day for me. Those were Callum Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount, each getting 1 point. Great performances from them against low opposition. I think it's showing that obviously they're 2 guys that need to still be playing in the first team. Hudson-Odoi obviously needs to be given more time. Mason Mount will obviously just keep his place. He's our best midfielder at the moment, definitely. As you can see on the screen, how those 1 points have added to the table. A bit of a cluster on the top up there with players. Will we see someone overtake Reece James? I'm not too sure. Hill should be back soon. Werner's definitely stayed on the same points for very, very long now. He's not been as great performances, but like I said, hopefully that will change. Hudson-Odoi actually edging his way up that table, which is very interesting. It just shows how like a patch of form can really affect that table with the point scoring system. But obviously, still, you know, over half of the season still to go. Things can change. I mean, hopefully anyway, with the whole COVID thing, hopefully football can still continue. Obviously, though, only if it's safe to do so. But yeah, that's going to be my review and recap, guys. Do let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the game. Who you think we should be starting against Fulham as well. I would love to know. And do be sure to leave a like and stay tuned for my preview for the Fulham game, which will probably hit on Saturday. And as always, guys, do subscribe for more Chelsea FC content. I do hope you will have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.